Coming up, we'll take a look at how one local business is helping those impacted by Hurricane Sandy, and Thomas Heyward Academy brings us a 2012 football retrospective. All that and, of course, the latest headline business and entertainment news right now on the Bluffton News. Welcome to the Bluffton News. I'm Anneliza Itkor, and these are Bluffton's current headlines. Almost a year ago, the proposal to build a 400-room luxury hotel, casino, and conference center on 50 acres inside Hilton Head Lakes, just off Highway 278, was proposed by a development team that included Joe Brin and Ralph Teal. And while Governor Haley's opposition to casino gambling stands firm, the investors hope to pitch their plan directly to the governor, thinking that the 2,250 jobs the casino would generate, along with the $92 million in salaries and benefits, would encourage Haley to sign off on the project. While Hardeeville Town Manager Bob Nanny struggles to remain optimistic, Nikki Haley has made it clear that while South Carolina desperately needs jobs, she feels there has got to be a better way. Anthony Valentino of Bluffton has filed a suit against the town of Bluffton and Police Chief Joey Reynolds for what he argues are violations of his rights to due process under the 14th Amendment and gun ownership under the Second Amendment. On the afternoon of September 11th, neighbors of the 35-year-old Valentino called the police, claiming an intoxicated Valentino showed up at their homes, threatening to harm himself and officers. Police found and seized a sniper rifle, assault rifle, a number of handguns, and an heirloom shotgun. Police said that at the time, Valentino was suffering from the stress of a recent job loss, medication withdrawal, and the sudden departure of his fiancée with his child. However, Valentino was never charged, a fact he uses in his suit to argue the continued seizure of his weapons, valued at $6,000, is unconstitutional. And marsh rats are infesting Hilton Head Island and Bluffton, and pest control companies are being besieged with calls to get rid of them. Critter Management Director of Operations Billy Karajanian said he has dispatched crews to every plantation almost every day to trap the rats and also to repair homes to make sure they don't get inside. He said the crews are working 50 to 60 homes a week. Karajanian said the population has exploded because of last winter's warm weather and an abundance of rain this year. John Kaiser with Island Pest Control on Hilton Head contends the marsh rat population has not changed. He and Tony Mills of Low Country Institute say people are just seeing more of them because high tides have driven them from their marsh homes into nearby residences. A controversy over a proposed sand mining operation near Hardeeville is expected to hit a crucial juncture by the end of the month. In May, developer WHHI filed an application for a sand mining permit to dig mines 20 to 25 feet deep on a 110-acre site located 5 miles south of Hardeeville. The mining is part of a larger plan to build a community nearby. The permit request elicited great public outcry as opponents voiced concern over dust, mosquitoes, damage to their wells and property values, and potential harm to wildlife. The Charleston-based South Carolina Coastal Conservation League told state regulators that the mines could severely alter surrounding wetlands. Regardless of how DHEC rules, the fight could still linger on. The party that loses this month can still challenge the decision by appealing to the DHEC board for a hearing in Columbia. And Bluffton High got a rare opportunity this past Friday, but it couldn't close the deal. The Bobcats found themselves back in the playoffs, facing Northwestern after #1 Goose Creek was disqualified. With a strong 12-2 record, things were looking good as they took on the #5 Trojans. Instead, the Bobcats fell in the semifinals for the second time in 3 seasons. While Bluffton started out strong in the first half, Northwestern roared back, scoring all of their 44 points in the second half, resulting in a final game score of 44-30. And here's what's happening around the state. 1 person was killed and 3 were injured in a crash involving 2 sport utility vehicles. According to Charlie Bozeman of the Anderson County Coroner's Office, 30-year-old Janaean Christopher Rice of Anderson died at the scene due to multiple trauma to the chest and neck. Bozeman said Rice had a blood alcohol level above the legal limit. The South Carolina Highway Patrol said Rice was driving a Ford Explorer that crossed the center line on US 29 south of Anderson and hit another Ford Explorer head-on at around 6 a.m. p.m. Saturday. 3 people in the second Explorer were taken to the hospital. Bozeman said one suffered a broken leg and another was to undergo surgery. 67-year-old veteran journalist Dwight Dana and his son Radisson died Sunday morning after their large home in Darlington was destroyed by fire. Firefighters recovered one body near the front of the house and a second body toward the back of the house. Paula Dana, Dwight Dana's ex-wife, said Radisson made the initial 911 call and told communications officers he was going into the main home in search of his father. Paula Dana confirmed both men were found dead. The Darlington Fire Department spent more than 2 hours battling flames of the 110-year-old two-story home and remained on the scene to find the origin. A 42-year-old Newberry County man has been charged with killing his wife after boaters found her beaten and stabbed body in the Broad River. The Newberry County Sheriff's Office charged Alan Lee Kuhn of Prosperity with murder in the death of 42-year-old Cindy Marie Kuhn. Her body was found about 12:30 p.m. Friday near Highway 213. County Coroner Craig Newton says the fatal wound was a cut to her jugular vein. Her husband reported her missing around 6 p.m., about the same time investigators identified her through fingerprints. Investigators then went to the home with a search warrant. They say the couple had a history of domestic problems dating to 2007, but there were no convictions for domestic violence. Myrtle Beach police say 33-year-old Herbert Jordan Richardson III of Myrtle Beach is charged with the stabbing death of a 50-year-old Myrtle Beach man. The victim, Randall Burkett, died from damage to his vital organs from at least one stab wound. Police say he was found on the steps of Richardson's home. He died at a local hospital. For more information on these headlines and more, please check out the media sources you see listed on your screen. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Coming up, Lynne Hummell of the Bluffton Sun has an insider's view of what's making news as the Bluffton News brings you hot off the presses, and Shellie West-Hodges brings us the Bluffton Business Report.
The smoked chipotle burrito is really good.
Yeah, my zesty cheesesteak burrito's great.
Are you familiar, Pete, with the phrase, don't mess with success?
Yeah.
Because this is not only messing with success, this is taking success to the cliff and shoving success over.
Success said, oh, please, don't do anything, leave me alone.
These burritos didn't even hear that. They heard, oh, put, and that was it. It was just like, wah. Egg everywhere.
Wake up to sirloin steak and fluffy eggs with the new zesty cheesesteak and smoked chipotle breakfast burritos. This is how you Sonic.
Welcome back to the Bluffton News. Today on Hot Off the Presses, Lynne Hummell joins us from the Bluffton Sun. Lynne, it's great to have you back with some of Bluffton's most current issues. Now, there is a ton of discussion about Bluffton's rapid growth over the past few years, and it's definitely reflected in our schools. Are Bluffton school populations still growing?
Absolutely they are. And as a matter of fact, the increased enrollment at the two Bluffton middle schools, Bluffton Middle and H.E. McCracken, is prompting discussions about possible changes to the grade structure at the schools and possible attendance zoning changes. The student population has overshot projections that were made in 2010 when the schools were, when the first school in Bluffton Middle was built, and officials say there's no room for expansion at either one of the schools. So they're looking at some potential changes, and they're going to have a meeting at 6 p.m. on November 29th at Bluffton High School, where the Board of Education members, school district officials, and parents and interested public can meet and talk about options.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how that issue gets problem solved. Now, what's going on with the Bluffton Fire District?
Well, the Bluffton Township Fire Commission has approved a plan to avert sharp insurance increases, rate increases at Colleton River and Palmetto Bluff. And currently there are 2 unmanned fire stations at each of those developments, and plans call for 2 existing staffers to man those stations temporarily to stem this potential dramatic insurance increase. And the cost of this temporary fix could be about $500,000, and whereas installing new permanent firefighters there would cost about $1.2 million in the next fiscal year.
Well, it sounds like that's another rather tricky issue to resolve. Lastly, Lynne, how is the new planned Bluffton Medical Facility progressing?
Well, Pace, the company that is developing this new facility off of Highway 278 in Bluffton, continues to press DHEC for the necessary permits so that they can continue their project. They are presenting updated material showing that the 325 new full-time and hundreds of indirect jobs that would be created are necessary, and that this will have a positive impact on our region. As we know, we suffer from a 7% unemployment rate. And they hope to break ground on the facility in September 2013.
Well, it's nice to end things on a positive note. Thank you so much, Lynne.
Thank you, Anneliza.
With the holidays on the horizon and family visits imminent, Shellie West-Hodges has some very helpful lodging information in this week's Bluffton Business Report. Shellie, welcome.
Thank you, Anneliza.
Now, you know, a lot of the people think when they come into the Low Country area, their only option is to stay on Hilton Head, which can be kind of pricey, but I understand we've got some really great, reasonable options in the Bluffton area.
Yes, we do. And of course, you know, Bluffton is a little bit of a different market. They're not so much tourist based. We have different types of people that come into Bluffton, whether they're visiting or relocating here. We've got some great properties in town.
Right. Now, let's first take a look at Candlewood Suites. What do they have to offer?
Now, Candlewood Suites is more of a long-term stay. They have fully equipped kitchens. So they get a lot of people that are really coming to the area to check Bluffton out. They may be staying there for a couple of months while they sell their homes back up north or wherever they're from. And they've got over 100 rooms, so there's a lot of availability there, and they do a great job.
Do they offer weekly and monthly rates?
Yes, they do. They actually base it on 1 to 6 days and then 7 to 14. They have different increments of how they charge. And of course, the longer you stay, the better your deal's going to be.
I have to be honest with you, I almost always look for a suite type situation, even if I'm only traveling short term, because I like having that refrigerator and microwave option available to me, because I'll sometimes run and grab breakfast because I don't like to go out to breakfast. So I think it's great. Now, going to a slightly larger company, Hampton Inn, I understand, is opening up.
Now, Hampton Inn is out in Oakadee in the greater Bluffton area, and they are also a suite-based hotel. They have small kitchenettes. They have a Continental there. They also have 3 meeting spaces that they rent out to local businesses.
Okay, and now do they focus on the business client more than the tourist client, or is it a nice environment as well?
Yeah, it's, you know, they've got business people that come through as well as people that are visiting family here in town.
Gotcha. Okay, and then finally, how about the Comfort Suites? What's different about that?
Now, Comfort Inn is a little bit smaller, and they are actually located in the Belfair Village, and there's 10 restaurants right there, so it's a great place to stay. You can walk to get something to eat. They also do some golf packaging here with our area golf courses.
That's great. Yeah, that's a really great location because the movie theaters are right there as well.
Yeah, so they do a great job, and it's great to have different types of properties that are available for people to choose from.
Great. Well, there we have some options. If you have family coming in for the holidays, you can kind of get a jump on things and get some rooms booked. Shellie, thank you so much.
Thank you, Anneliza.
When we return, we'll learn how New River Auto Mall is reaching out to help Hurricane Sandy victims, and we'll get an update on what's happening at Thomas Heyward Academy.
Tara's Men's Den, located beside Tara's Salon at the Moss Creek Village, is a full-service salon for men only. Open Monday through Saturday from 9:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. We offer haircuts, color, highlights, waxing, and treatments for hair loss. No appointment necessary, so come enjoy a relaxing atmosphere for men only, and don't forget senior discounts every Wednesday. Call or visit us today. Our number is 843-837-5555.
Welcome back to the Bluffton News. Jill Jauch, who is the marketing director from the New River Auto Mall, is joining us now. But Jill, we're not here to talk about buying cars today, are we?
No, not today. Although we do want you to buy.
Of course, of course. And that would make a great Christmas present. I'll get a note off to my husband. But first off, what we're really here to talk about is what y'all are doing to help the victims of Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah, we have started a collection. Actually, the collection is over. We did a collection for a couple of weeks. As residents of coastal areas, we know how tragic it can be if you're hit by a storm. So we decided to ask all of our customers and our employees and people in the area to donate items so we could drive it up there to help with the relief efforts.
That's so cool. Now, where did this come from? Why did New River Automall decide to do this?
Well, we have a married couple actually that works for us that is from Staten Island, and they emailed our owner and felt really strongly that because of our outreach in the community and because of how many customers we have, that we would be a good organization to be able to collect so many items to take up there. So it was their idea, and we just ran with it from there. Our owner was really supportive and excited and really wanted to help.
I think that's so cool. Now, how can our viewers find out what's going on while you're on this drive up there?
Well, we're leaving tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. From our warehouse here in Bluffton, and we're going to be driving all day tomorrow, 14 hours at least, with probably 2 or 3 truckloads of items. And we're going to be making posts on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/New River Automall. And we also will have our videographer with us, and he'll be doing videos the whole way. And we have a YouTube channel, which is newriverautomalltv.com. So people can either follow us on Facebook or find us on our YouTube channel.
Well, I think that's terrific. Your efforts are certainly appreciated.
Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Ryan Day and J.D. Tuten, who is one of the star players from Thomas Heyward Academy's football team. And we're going to take a little bit of a peek at past, present, and future of the team. Ryan, welcome.
How are you?
Now, my first question is for you. Why was Thomas Heyward Academy's football season more successful than past years?
We've put in a lot of work over the past few years, especially spending time in the weight room and in the film room, getting stronger, getting better on the field and off the field, getting to know our opponents a little bit better than we have in past years. And the coaches have done a great job of getting us prepared for each game each week.
Great. And JD, what has your career been like at Thomas Heyward Academy?
It's been great. The coaches have all been just more than just coaches to me on and off the field, more like father figures, and I really love the school, and it's been a great experience.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about the experience of being at the Shrine Bowl?
Yes, ma'am. It was one of the most fun week I've ever had in my life. It was very eye-opening. I met a lot of friends. We went to the Shriners Hospital and saw what it was like for those kids, and it was a great week, and we played against other great players, which was a great experience.
And Ryan, what are your plans after graduation?
Right now, I'm not set on a school where I want to go yet, or if I'm going to play football at the next level. I definitely have some options open. Right now, I'm looking at 3 different schools: Furman, Berry College, and Clemson. And in the winter, I'm going up to tour UVA, William & Mary, and Penn up in Philadelphia. And I want to major in biology on a pre-med track and hopefully get into orthopedics.
Wow, smart too. Girls, look out. All right, JD, how about you? What are your plans after graduation?
I do plan to play college football. I don't know where yet. I'm looking at a couple different schools. A lot of schools are talking to me, so I have a couple options. I don't know where yet, but I should be making that decision pretty soon.
Now, as a quarterback, JD, are there schools looking at you right now for scholarship possibilities?
Yes, ma'am. I have some that want me at quarterback, but also some want me to play defense as well. So that's open. Quarterback for the smaller schools, and the bigger schools that I'm talking to, like Furman, want me at a wide receiver or corner.
That's got to be pretty exciting. Now, Ryan, if you do move forward with athletics, are you solely a football player?
Football and baseball. I wouldn't play baseball in college, though, but a few schools are talking, or one school in particular is talking to me for baseball. And football, I got a few Division III schools talking to me. Nothing too big, but I would play football if I played a sport in college.
Well, it sounds like Thomas Heyward Academy has been very lucky to have both of you, and it looks like you got some great futures ahead of you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
After the break, Rodney Vaughn will be joining us with this week's entertainment report, and you'll meet our special Bluffton News Pet of the Week.
Okay, so it's a romantic dinner for 2. Now, I've already cut some tomato. Time for the vinaigrette. You are gonna love this. Okay, we need some sesame seeds. My favorite pan. Now, what's really important is...
With Merillat cabinets, you'll discover function that's irresistible.
Good thing I'm not the jealous type.
Welcome back. Joining us now is our entertainment reporter, Rodney Vaughn, with a special Bluffton Entertainment Report.
Thanks a lot, and I'm here today with Maureen Richards, and she's the executive director of the Heyward House Historic Center in downtown Bluffton. Now, Maureen, we've been talking a little bit about your event that's coming up, which is your one and only fundraiser for the year. It's the Old World Christmas Gala at the Cold Cocktail House.
Yes, that's right.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about this, because it sounds like an extremely exciting event?
Well, it's going to be a traditional Southern plantation holiday event.
Wow.
Decorations and period dress is encouraged. Traditional Southern Old World menu for the food, and even a warm Southern bourbon drink.
Bourbon drink?
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds awesome. It's a great menu for the dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard you mention you were going to have sliced turkey and
carved ham.
Wow. And dressing with May oysters.
May River oyster dressing. Yes, that will be nice.
That sounds fantastic. Now, this is an evening event, and it's going to be period costume, as you mentioned. There's going to be music provided?
Yes, Jeff Beasley and the Fabulous Clams, a Savannah band in a New Orleans style. They have horns. They just have a great time. It's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Now, the Cold Cocktail House is your annex property, and it's not normally open to the public. So this is a special event to get to tour the home as well?
Yes, it is. And there will be some old world textile exhibits inside the home, so folks can breeze in and have a look and get to see the inside of the home.
Well, that's a great property, and your event's being held across from the property in the Live Oak Grove?
Yes, outdoors in the Live Oak Grove. There will be heaters, of course, and also the traditional old world decorations. And there will be parking at the Oyster Factory Park right next door to the Cold Cocktail House, and a lighted path to guide folks over to the Teal House.
That's great. This is going to be so much fun because people are going to be dressed up in the period costume. I think that's really exciting.
There will also be a photo booth for folks who want to take home a souvenir photo.
Wow, thanks for mentioning that.
Yeah.
And again, your event is December the 7th.
Yes.
And the price for the event is a donation of $50.
$50.
Tickets are available at the Heyward House Historic Center, or you can call the number, Maureen?
Yes, fine.
Okay.
757-6293, or we also can be reached on the internet at haywardhouse@gmail.com.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you, Rodney.
And back to you.
The Bluffton News Pet of the Week is Maverick. And what is not to love about this big, goofy boy? Maverick is about 70 pounds and may still have a little growing to do. He fancies himself a lap dog, and we have not told him otherwise. This Great Dane Black Lab mix plays well with other dogs and is a big hit with humans, both big and small. Rescued from a kill shelter, his origins are not quite certain, but he is eager to enjoy a very bright future. For more information about Maverick or other adoptable animals, please contact Brookshaven Animal Rescue at 843-757-7387. Thanks for joining us for the news program that is all Bluffton all the time. I'm Anneliza Itkor for the Bluffton News. We'll see you next time.